Siegfried's spell is finished.
Finally.
And he casts Detect Magic. And he discovers that there is magic in the room. And it's located at Galen's desk. He has drawers, and you see that there is an illusion spell cast on the drawers. So
okay. I try and take a closer look, see whether anything looks weird to me. I can't figure out what spell it is from just this, but I try and look for stuff. Start touching parts that to see if they're really there. See if I can I can figure stuff out. I guess check for traps because
roll an intelligence saving throw.
Intelligence saving throw, even.
Yes.
Sheesh. That would be. Oh, that would be quite all right.
All right, there you go. When you look around in the drawers a little bit, you find out that Galen has his most important notes hidden away under an illusion.
Nice.
And once you figure that out, you can look around somewhere where you wouldn't normally look around, and you can pull the documents out of it.
Awesome.
And Galen basically has documents where he has things written down about most important people in the city. Also you, for example, are mentioned in the document.
So, how much paperwork is there? Is there like?
It's about
in terms of hours reading, say.
Yeah, one hour.
All right.
Want help with that?
This seems all right. Sure. Go here. I hand over half the stack and start sifting through. First, quick search for anything mentioning Vasily, because I've got a hunch, and the Dark Elves. Well, they are a nasty bunch usually, so that seems like an obvious place to start as well.
Yeah.
And well, Lenric actually. Just because he's dead doesn't mean there isn't a trace there.
You find an interesting bit about the Dark Elves, actually. Galen apparently met with a woman called Elvil, Tidebringer. At least the last name rings bells with you.
Okay.
Because the Tidebringers were the assassins who came after you guys. And in this piece of paper, he mentions that while he had been at odds with the Tidebringers over the entire incident of them trying to kill you, and them obviously have been paid for it. But he said that the contract apparently was withdrawn now after the failures that had been endured. And he had made a new deal with this woman where she would pay a good sum of money to allow the train to be built in Galen's territories, the train tracks.
Yeah.
Okay.
It also mentions that the first train will be leaving the station today.
Where to and from are these trains supposed to be?
Well, they travel now mostly through the main parts of Ostland. So they go from to the south, and they go to Strudel, and then they go east to Trilheim and Roerzen and stuff like that. And there's another path that leads north, which goes to Wolfenburg and then Verlangen and further up. And there's also a south branch that goes east from Wolfenburg to Leveldorf, Van den Gard, and Grensburg.
Okay. So 3 main tracks, probably running along the main roads?
Yeah. roughly along the main roads. There's also another track way to the north, but that doesn't really involve you so much.
So apparently these dark elves are involved in the train emporium or something? Okay.
Yeah, that seems to be the case. You can also pretty much figure out from this document that Tyron didn't know that Galen and she had this deal.
All right. Let's keep that to ourselves for now.
Yes, that seems seems sensible. So the guard captain says, "There's a little bit more I can tell you about what I know." So we cleaned the mess that was made was cleaned up. There was another servant by the name of Alaire who entered the room, and she cleaned everything up. And Galen returned pretty much around the time that she was finishing cleaning up. And Galen then went to work. And that was pretty much the main thing that happened. Apparently, there was some noise at some point, but it was just probably the trains, people working at the train, because that makes a lot of noise, the work that's going on there. And, well, then there was a storm, which made a lot of noise. But I guess you guys know about that as well. And then around 8, Alaire, which is one of the servants, she entered the room and she found out that Galen was missing.
All right. Sounds like we might want to have a word with her.
Yeah, she's here.
For my sense of the space, the wall that the dresser that fell was up against. Can I figure out, I'm a pretty smart guy, can I figure out whether there's enough room behind it to actually be part of some passageway? Based on the layout of the building.
You feel like it shouldn't be. I'll quickly draw this while we're doing this. Let's put this on black. You guys see this, right?
Yes.
This nice blank thing where there's nothing to see. All right. So let's say this is the room. Then we need to. It's very exciting, I'm sure. But yeah, here we go. Okay, so the door is around here.
Yes.
And there's one dresser around here. And there is a dresser around here.
Which one fell?
Hold on. Let me draw everything. There's a chair over here. There's some other chairs over there. All right. Okay. So this is the main. This is a chair. It's beautiful, by the way. This is an amazing drawing.
Oh.
All right.
Nothing dropped?
Nothing dropped out?
Yep.
All right. Well, I guess we can continue and hope that he'll show up again. So these are chairs. This is Lenric's table. This is dresser number 1. This is dresser number 2. This dresser, number 1, fell over at a certain point.
Okay, so then the obvious question is, what's in the room next door, and how thick does this wall look to be?
you look at this. The room next door is actually a room where guards are. It's kind of like a guard station room. So it's not a place where anyone really sleeps or anything like that. But it's just where guards wait around a little bit. And the wall doesn't seem thick enough that you would expect there to be a secret passage there.
Can I figure out what could have made the dresser tip over? Would that be
you can give it a go. Yeah.
I'm pretty fucking good at this.
Ooh. That's a pretty solid check. You feel that it seems a lot from the signs that you see that it seems that a lot of the damage done to the back of the dresser and to the wall comes from a heavy axe. It seems that an axe drove into the back of the dresser and against the wall as well.
But from where? How? It doesn't.
Yes, that's the strange thing.
Right. So I know that there's magic that can make you get through walls and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But
there should also be mentioned that over here, at this area, this dresser has also been damaged. Because this one, dresser 1, was the one that fell over, but dresser 2 is the one that's damaged, and one of the drawers has entirely shattered.
What's in that dresser?
Well, all sorts of things that were just being kept by Galen. So there's clothes in there as well, but also just keepsakes of his. You also find that there's a few documents and things like that he keeps there, apparently, because his desk didn't have enough space for everything.
Sounds like my kind of guy. An axe from inside the wall, but it hit both the wall and the dresser.
Yeah.
But so my detect magic, aside from the fact that we carry some stuff.
Yeah. There's nothing magical here right now. That much you can tell.
That's weird.
Welcome back, I think. Or
yeah, I'm not sure. I had to move over to the laptop.
Okay.
And we don't.
Did we drop sheep?
No, sheep's back.
No, there he is.
No idea. Like the second Nafmi came back, my Discord just restarted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. My computer just went completely dead. For some reason, my screen isn't loading. I don't know if you guys can see me, but
nope. But we can hear you. That's the important part.
All right. I think I know why. I'm gonna have to restart the laptop as well.
All right.
So I'm gonna have to be gone again.
Sure thing.
Okay. So it's a bit of a mystery. The guard captain says, and I have no idea what happened. I really don't.
Well, that makes 2 of us.
3.
The last bit of information I can tell you is I have made a list of everyone who was stationed here at one point or another.
That seems useful.
So there's 4 guards that have
before noon and afternoon.
Yeah. So there's 2 guards which are Grongen and Mok. And Grongen and Mok are the ones who have done the guard.
To reboot my PC fixed itself.
Oh, that's good. Magic.
I don't know when I'm going to crash out again, but because that was completely unexpected.
Yeah, that's weird. It just crashed out of nowhere.
Never happened before, so yeah.
That's what they all say.
It actually never happened on the PC before. Oh, we're in a room with drawings.
Yes, I
Yes.
decided to draw the room to make it a bit more clear. So, the two guards who were guarding during most of the day were two guards called Grongen and Mok.
They sound like
Alright.
orcs.
Yeah, they sound like orcs, but they're just really tough and burly-looking fellows.
So those were the morning guards, and then
Yeah.
in the afternoon.
And the afternoon guards were
It's okay. My
Yes,
boss forgets
Alaire
my name
and-
all the time.
Alaire and Bernard.
Wait, Alaire was the servant, right?
That was
Oh
Lara.
no, wait, sorry, I read that wrong. Aletta and Bernard,
Aletta and Bernard. Okay.
I think, right? I need to check for a moment. Wait. Sometimes like, oh no, why? Yes. Aletta and Bernard were the ones who were.
So, Alexei, I'm not sure you were paying attention, but did you see that the back of this thing was actually hit with an axe, and the wall too?
No, I noticed it was hit by a thing.
Yeah, these are axe markings.
So someone wedged an axe between the wall and the dresser.
Does that match what I so brilliantly investigated, Allah? Because
Sorry.
Did someone wedge an axe to knock it over, or does it look like both the wall and the cabinet were actually hit with an axe?
It looks more like someone wedged it in there.
Ah, okay.
To push it over?
It almost looks like it, yeah.
Okay, I'm not the strongest guy in the room, but did I really have to work to move it away from the wall?
I mean, you could probably topple it over if you wanted to. You wouldn't need to use an axe to do it. Oh, by the way, I see that I've made a mistake. The guards guarding during the other shift were actually Derek and Jeffrem. The two guards I mentioned, Aletta and Bernard, showed up later when the incident was reported.
Okay. So, what did you say? Derek and
Yes, Derek and Jeffrem.
Jeffrem. All right.
So there's 7 people sort of involved.
Six
guards
guards
in
and
total, and
the
one
servant.
servant. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's okay. I forget names all the time.
Johnson says, I showed up about 25 minutes after it was reported. And when I got there, they had apparently already been trying to figure out what was going on for a while. So,
Does Galen ever take off without letting the guards know?
no, not like this.
Hmm.
This is very strange.
Secret. Now I need to know this in or out of character. You said you had a hunch before. Was that in character or out of character? Did you say that out loud?
I didn't say it out loud, but I did specifically go look for Vasily related stuff because, well, he is. If Galen were to disappear, Vasily is the person with the most to gain. So it's common CK2 sense basically.
All right. Johnson says, can I leave you... I mean, do you guys want to play an active part with this investigation, or should I look into the matter myself?
I take my head up from underneath the cabinet. Does it look like I'm not having fun here?
Well, it seems like you have a better grasp of what's going on than I do, to be honest.
I think we'd like to be involved. Yes.
Yeah.
Good. I should probably talk to his nephew and tell him that his uncle.
I think that might be wise.
What about the guards?
You mean the 6 guards that were involved?
Well, the ones who are supposed to be watching him when he disappeared.
He gestures to 2 men who are arguing with each other. Those are the 2 that were guarding outside when he disappeared.
Yeah, those would be an obvious place to start as well.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So someone asks the questions. I'll do the hitting.
Yeah.
Let's not start off with the hitting.
You guys hear, by the way, that at this point that the storm that again the storm is starting to pick up outside.
Pick up again.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, weird question, Siegfried. As I'm looking out the window, this storm. This is a normal storm, right? That's just really heavy and persistent.
Yep. I didn't do it.
No, but could someone else have done it? That's what I'm hinting at.
Not that I can tell, but I guess, right? I mean, okay, so for out of character, I could see someone cast magic to cause a storm, whereas the storm would not be magical, and I wouldn't be able to tell the difference, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's possible, but I think it's either a coincidence or they awaited an opportune time.
All right.
All right. So you guys are going to talk to the guards who were.
So,
all right.
Reporter lady, you have a knack of
reporting,
talking to people and stuff.
Yeah.
How about you go make yourself useful or something?
What he meant to say is, why don't you interview the guards to see if they know anything?
Of course, boys. I walk over to the guards.
Well, you as you approach the guards, you hear one of them saying, "You were not paying attention." The one says, "I was paying attention. I was paying attention all the time. You were just shouting all the time. You weren't the one who was messing up."
Okay, guys, boys, cool, eh? Okay.
Hi.
I'm gonna move you over to where I want you again. There we go. Okay, so what happened? You came to work.
They both nod. One of them says, "Yeah," and he was late again. I was not late. You were early. You're always early.
Okay. You know what? I'll talk to you first.
All right.
So
which one? The one that is early or the one that wasn't?
The one that was early.
All right. He says, "Yeah, that sounds like the best idea."
It always go with the early ones. So take him to the side, and I ask him, "Okay, I want you to walk me through what happened from the moment you came to work. I don't care if you were early or not, but what happened?"
Well, I showed up and I saw a elven woman leave Galen's room.
Have you seen her before?
No, she's a dark elf. She had a certain, she was beautiful, but in a would kill you in your sleep kind of way.
Excellent.
She probably would as well.
That's what I.
Okay.
But I mean, not that I was worried or anything. And after a while, my colleague showed up. Late.
How late was he, really? How late?
I mean, he wasn't early.
But was he late? Like, annoyingly late, or just there was a lot of traffic? If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm looking for a pen. I can't find a decent pen in my house.
Well, I mean, when you have a job as important as I do, you gotta give it your all. And I can just tell that he wasn't giving his all. So,
I like this guy.
And at a certain point, I had to use the restroom, and I know how this guy is. He wasn't paying attention, and to be honest, that's when it happened. It must have.
When you went to the bathroom?
When I went to the bathroom, yeah. That's when something happened to Galen.
So this is all your bladder's fault?
I mean, I need to stand guard for pretty much 12 hours.
There is flasks you can pee in.
Yeah, well, that's not how we do things around here.
So you, other guy,
I'm just saying.
You, other guy, what happened when he was, peeing?
Nothing. I mean, it was just nothing happened. It was the middle of the night. He went to pee.
I look at him sternly with my birdie eyes. So good at this.
Look, dweeb, nothing happened.
Oh, he called you a dweeb. He called you by your real name. He knows your true self.
So the guy Gil, what did Gil ask? The guy, the last question.
If everything was his bladder's fault.
Oh yeah, no, it wasn't my bladder's fault. It was his fault.
Okay, so he didn't pay attention enough.
I mean, yes, and because of that, Galen is now gone. He's pretty much.
Does
doomed,
that happen a lot?
Like all of us. What do you mean? That he messes up and that I need to fix things? Yeah, pretty much all the time. Yeah.
So why are you still on the same shift?
Because I get stuck with him all the time.
But can't you ask your guard duty dude?
Look, I've been trying to get a promotion
I'm not working
for
with him.
the longest of times. I know the salutes perfectly. I can show them.
That's good. Yes, please do that.
Well, all right. So
I've heard there's 15 of them.
This is the normal Imperial one. And then there's this one.
What was the first one again?
I'm sorry, but if you're not going to pay attention, then there's no point in doing them, is there?
No, that's absolutely true.
Are you paying attention or not?
I'm paying attention, yes.
Look, she's taking notes.
It's like my mom all over again. Or any girlfriend I ever had, or not.
Oh, we just went really sad.
Burn! I know, girlfriends suck, don't they? But okay, you went to the restroom, and that's when shit went down. Did you hear anything? You're a very good guard. Did you have a bad gut feeling about anything more than if you remove your shitty coworker? Is there a bad gut feeling?
Look, I don't like how this is going. I mean, I get it. You're trying to make fun of me because I went to the toilet.
No, I'm not.
Feeling and shit.
No, God, no. Oh,
okay.
God, I didn't even see that one. Sorry.
I'm sorry. No. It's my fault. Okay.
No, it's not.
I thought you were making fun of me.
But didn't you have that? No. You know, sometimes when something happens, you get that little shiver down your spine.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Did you get that tonight?
Yeah, I did. And I told him we really had to pay extra attention, but he didn't listen. He didn't think it was necessary. Well, I mean, he seems very dedicated. Yeah. And the other guy is clearly rolling his eyes all the time. He's like, oh, this guy. What can you do, right?
Yeah.
He says he's always like this. He always wants to, do everything twice and then just, do it perfectly and do it everything according to the routine. But it's all nonsense. Yeah, it doesn't really serve any purpose. It just makes him feel better.
And it makes you look bad,
look at the feather in his cap. No one has a feather in his cap like him. It's supposed to be mandatory, but no one does it because you look like a twat. He does it.
You're worried he's making you look bad.
Yeah.
No, I'm not worried about him making me look bad.
Okay.
I'm worried about him just being annoying.
Well, looking at the two of you, I wouldn't consider him the type to be bought. Just saying.
Yeah, but okay, that might be true.
Did you say you got caught? Who paid you? Yeah, but oh God, this is why I don't interview men. Oh.
The guards look at each other. It was your fault.
This is why I'm not a preschool teacher.
Hey.
The extremely motivated guard says, "Look, except for the moment that I went to the toilet, there was barely anything that happened.
Barely anything. What did happen?
There was sound outside from the people working on the train, and there was a sound at some point, and then Galen said nothing was going on. So
are you sure
I know that
him?
Galen.
Roll back.
Well,
there was a sound, and he said nothing was going on.
Yeah, that was around. Sorry,
and you're absolutely true. That was him. Sure, that was him.
Yeah, I mean, it was his voice.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Other guy nods. Yeah.
Yeah, that's foolproof, no doubt. There's no way you can spoof someone's voice.
He plucks at his feather and he says, "Well, I do know how to do my job as a guard, after all."
Yeah, you definitely do. That's why now I was still looking for it. Yeah,
the other one says, "You're implying that he could have changed his voice, right?"
Duh. I mean, give me a little while, and I could, give you a fake Galen voice and appearance and all. It's not that hard,
Really? Why not do that?
Because you want the real one back, you idiots!
Yeah. No, it's okay. Sure.
Maybe Glurk should talk to these people because I think they talk the same language.
I'm saying.
Yeah. The one guy that seems a bit relaxed says, that Glurk guy, he seems to have it all sorted out. So, yeah.
Yep, I know exactly what's going on.
Well, I mean, once this has wound down, I'm sure they'll be looking for competent employees, and you'll be in the market. Let's talk to some other guards.
Probably.
No. Why can't I have a go at them?
Oh, sure, go ahead.
Seriously, let it work.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So I square up in front of both of them, a lot shorter than them. They'll probably have to look downwards at me.
The one kind of just fluffs his feather a little bit.
All right.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's lovely. All right, so your boss is missing. Correct.
Yep, that's true. But it wasn't my fault. I mean, he said...
Sharp. All right, why aren't you dead?
What?
Someone took your boss, or your boss got away from you. Why aren't you dead? You failed.
Yeah. Would it have been so much better if we were dead?
Yes.
Okay, well...
It would set a very clear example for the next guards.
Yeah.
Look, no one came past us, all right?
Right.
We saw no one. So, everyone who tried to get past us, we stopped.
How many people tried to get past you?
Like, no one. That night.
You didn't stop anyone trying to get past you.
No, that's true, but if anyone did...
So someone got past you?
Well, I mean, we didn't see anyone, and the door didn't open while we were in guard.
Right. And
there were a few times when the door opened, but that was when people visited and stuff. So
in the middle of the night?
So you let people past you?
Well, I mean, let's see. There were a few times when the door was opened. So when Galen got back, that's when the door was opened.
Yeah.
Obviously, and then they kind of look at each other. Actually, no, the door didn't open between then and when. No. So when Galen returned, that's when the door was opened. And when Alaire wanted to check on Galen,
right?
That's when the door was opened again.
So you guys were on guard when Alaire came and opened the door, right?
Yeah.
Anything weird about her demeanor at the time?
Well, they look at each other. One of them says, she's always a bit dismissive towards us, to be honest. But
okay, so nothing
more
weird
than usual.
Right. So you with the plume thing.
Yes.
You went off to the toilet.
Yeah, I did. Yes.
And you without the plume thing.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
I just stood guard, I did my job.
You didn't go for a smoke or nothing.
That sounds like a pretty good idea, but I didn't. No.
You didn't slip off to chat up some.
No. I was here.
You were there.
The other guard says no. I think he definitely left. But it's the only explanation.
Either that, or they snuck past because they paid you. Who's rolling? I can see who's rolling.
I rolled insight.
Well, you can't tell. You can't catch them in a lie, at least. So you feel like they're telling the truth, or somewhat, at least. So,
could someone who actually can read people also have their spidey sense out? Because
I was waiting for the rest of you to be like, I'm going to have a look and see if they're lying or not.
This is not my forte, but
okay, that's pretty good. All right, so
unless you want to go with passive, but either way,
Gil has a pretty good idea, and I mean, you all have the sense basically that they're not lying.
Okay.
They're just shit gods. All right.
Guys, it is getting a bit late, and I think this investigation could go on for.
I'm still waiting for 12 salutes.
There's 4 other guards, 12 more salutes, and a servant. Which doesn't imply that you should investigate the salutes, but
all the salutes should be checked.
Yeah. I think this is a good point to kind of wrap up, but I'll end with this. As you are kind of talking to people, the storm outside gets wilder and wilder, and you can hear outside a large boom as lightning hits the courtyard.
Okay, and before the session ends, I look at Sigrid. You sure this isn't magical?
Maybe?
And cliffhanger before he says maybe.
Let's end with this. There's a large boom, and you go outside, and as you go to the courtyard, there's ionized smoke in the air, and everything seems a bit blurry because there's been a bit of a small fire in the garden. And through the smoke, you see a figure standing there, and it takes you a while to recognize him.
It's Lenric.
No, it's Carl.
Oh,
Carl.
And that's it. Session over.
Oof. Nice.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Carlisle!
That guy! Oh!
Alexa only recognizes him when he's thrown in the air like a rugby ball.
Or drunk.
Ah, that's him.
All right. So wrapping things up. Thanks again, you guys. This was, this was a lot of fun. And we'll be back in 14 days live and probably at some point on the YouTubes, depending on when I can be bothered to edit and stuff. Thank you very much. You can find Sheep on Twitch and YouTube, and Caff, she's there. Caff sometimes as well, although not lately. Caff, stream more. And
yes. Get me better internet.
This was cool. Thanks, you guys.
It was fine.
Bye-bye.
My internet sucks. Bye.
Alright YouTube, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, remember to leave it a thumbs up at the bottom. And of course, if you'd like to see more videos, do check out the channel and hit subscribe on your top right.